Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone enjoying this wonderful lunch and afternoon, especially at South Padre Island? Good afternoon. My name is Annabelle Cardona. I'm President and CEO of Valley Grande Institute. Valley Grande Institute is our vocational nursing program school entity that we train healthcare workers, nursing, vocational nursing, allied health for the last 30 years. We're currently, this month, we're celebrating our 30th anniversary, and we have, thank you. Thank you. It's our private nonprofit that has been educating healthcare workers for the last 30 years. It was actually the first school that had a dual enrollment from a private high school into the nursing programs. So it's exciting to continue the legacy of Valley Grande Institute, and especially when we get to help not just the student, but the whole family itself, to add to our economic development and make at least somewhat and assist all our healthcare facilities, our healthcare institutions, and our hospitals throughout the region and further out. So today, it's an honor to be here, and we have a special guest with us today. And we're all excited about that. And let me give a few words about our dear First Lady. In January 2015, Cecilia Abbott made history by becoming the first Hispanic First Lady of Texas. She has, yes. She has been a teacher, vice principal, and principal at several Catholic schools across Texas, has worked in senior healthcare services, and is involved in many educational and philanthropic organizations. Her signature initiative as First Lady combines the two things that she's most passionate about, Texas and philanthropy. She calls it Texanthropy, through which she promotes volunteerism and service to others across Texas. Cecilia is also passionate about ways in which Texas can support the children and families in the state's child welfare system, and developing effective strategies to end human trafficking. Most importantly, Cecilia is a devoted wife to her husband of 41 years, Texas Governor Greg Abbott, and proud mother to daughter Audrey and dogs Pancake and Peaches. We all love that. We would like to welcome our dear guest and true supporter, Cecilia Abbott, our First Lady. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here in South Padre Island. I'm delighted to be part of this Small Business Series event. As you know, supporting and promoting small businesses in Texas is one of Greg's biggest priorities. The Governor's Office of Economic Development and Tourism is doing incredible work to make sure everyone knows just how great Texas is for businesses of all sizes. And the Women's Commission is also doing amazing work to support and advance economic opportunities for women in Texas and help make Texas the #1 state for women-owned businesses. I'm so proud that our state is already home to 1.25 million women business owners. We lead all 50 states in jobs created by Black women business owners and by Hispanic women business owners. I always say that what makes Texas so special is our people. Texans are the main reason why businesses, especially small businesses, succeed in Texas. As First Lady, I'm blessed to hear so many stories about Texans who are succeeding. Let me brag about just a couple of those. For George and Ruby Huerta, what started as inspired mixing of some leftovers from the fridge turned into the creation of an original product, their Texas gumbo. That now is sold in all HEBs. And there's Julie Albertson, who took her cherished family recipes passed down through generations and opened the Texas Pie Company, a beloved local bakery in Kyle, Texas. These are just two examples of the many family-owned and women-owned businesses in Texas. Creative and innovative businesses that shape the fabric of our state, where the opportunity to succeed knows no bounds. In the recipe of success in life, it is women who lead. We know that when women invest in themselves, in their businesses, and in their communities, they encourage young girls to believe in themselves, and they inspire change in others. In Texas, we believe in the unlimited potential of women. The work you are doing today will impact tomorrow. No matter what your business does, we want you to succeed. When women in Texas succeed, Texas succeeds. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce someone who works tirelessly to help make Texas the best place in the world to work. He has served in the office of the governor, in the administration of President George W. Bush, and in the private sector. He currently serves as chairman of the Texas Workforce Commission, where he promotes and supports the growth of Texas's world-class employers and talented workforce. Ladies and gentlemen, Chairman Brian Daniel.
All right. Wonderful lunch, wasn't it? Oh, man. How about a hand for the folks that served the food? Really, I just have a couple things to say, and then I have a great privilege of hosting a panel discussion here that I think you're going to find absolutely fascinating. So I've had a chance to visit with this group this morning, and you're going to learn some things that are absolutely amazing. And while they're getting seated and getting in place, I want to talk about the Texas Workforce Commission's support of the Governor's Small Business Series, a long-standing partnership that we have, an opportunity for us to really have an impact on small business owners and entrepreneurs in the state, something we take very seriously, and we're thrilled that we have the opportunity for this partnership. And then this particular meeting is in partnership with the Governor's Commission for Women, a group that has dedicated themselves. These appointees, these are all gubernatorial appointees on the commission that come from all over the state, looking for ways to bring women to a point where they can realize their full potential and success. They have so many programs. This is just one of many. Hope you'll check out what they're doing, because I honestly think they're doing incredible work in this state. So just thank you all for coming. Thank you all for this opportunity for the Workforce Commission to sponsor this. And let's move over here. I'm going to take a seat, and we're going to have a conversation about something that I think is pretty critical to the future of Texas, and that's cookies, all right? Take this one, maybe. All right. So I'm joined here, maybe. He's working on it. All right. So three folks on the panel today. This is Julie Tobolowski. This is Maripaz Nino and Carlene Cusin. They have a company called JK Chocolates. And you know, the kids on the text messaging, JK means just kidding, but I'm not kidding. These cookies are magnificent. They're habit forming. I've got the little baggie they gave me right here with some well, I don't know where the cookies went, but this is a wonderful product. But I think the story is just as important. And I think understanding how we got here is probably just as important as this wonderful product that they have. So obviously, when you're going to do something like this, you do a lot of research, you learn a lot. But what I discovered about an hour ago is they can tell their story way better than I can. So guys, tell us, like, why JK Chocolates? This is a great idea. We all have great ideas every day. How did your great idea become this phenomenon in Texas?
First of all, thank you so much for having us, the Small Business Governors Council, and thank you, First Lady. Such a pleasure to be here in South Padre. So hello, everybody. We're from Dallas. Julie, Mary Paz, and Carlene. We started a long time ago as friends and loved to cook together and made a very unique product called microchip cookies, and everyone has some on their tables. So please enjoy. And we decided a long time ago that we wanted to go into business together. And it just has been a wonderful friendship and a delight to start a business together. And to have Mary Paz with us today is really a great pleasure. She was our first employee, so she's been with us since the beginning. But we started, like I said, as friends, and Carlene and I each have 4 kids. So we started with chocolate sauces. We were making them for teacher gifts, and everyone wanted the recipes, and we said, oh, one day we're going to go into business. And years later, the youngest kid goes off to college, and Carlene and I decided, okay, maybe now's the time. So JK Chocolate was born.
Right, but our kids were like, oh no, you got to do the cookies. And then we were like, no, the cookies are real labor intensive. There's no way we can do that. And they go, well, wine's labor intensive, but they make wine. So we're like, okay. So we thought, well, we'll be a cottage industry. We'll do it out of our house. And very quickly, we outgrew our houses. I mean, it was nuts from day one. We have been lucky enough to be profitable from day one, and it's just like organically grown crazy. So we've had a blast. We've had a really good time, and learned a lot along the way, because we thought, oh, we'll have co-packers or some, other people, we'll get other people to do it. But then we realized, no, we have to do it. This is the only way it's going to be successful, to have the quality that we really strive for.
Well, so earlier when we were talking, you were kind of talking about how you got started and the fact that in the beginning you were making chocolate sauces that you were giving as gifts to your kids' teachers. And that you really realized, like when your youngest child was moving through school, the teachers were starting to get a little upset because they realized that might be the end of the chocolate sauce. How do you move from chocolate sauce as a gift to chocolate sauce as a product? And then maybe tack on to that, if you don't mind, how do you get from chocolate sauce to cookies? I'm curious about that.
Well, it was funny because Carlene and I, like I said, we've been buddies forever, and we love to entertain. And so the cookies really came about because we were entertaining, and we were going to have a party where everything was going to be miniature. And this is going back like 15 years ago. So anyways, how small could you make a cookie? Could you make it a single chip cookie? So of course we get in the kitchen and we start cooking, and we realize, oh my gosh, these taste pretty good. So we started making them for friends and family, and everyone's like, you gotta sell these. And we're like, they're so labor intensive, and it takes so much time. And so, anyways, everyone really encouraged us, and our husbands were great at saying, gosh, get going with it. Let's find a kitchen, and luckily we were able to in Dallas, and we quickly realized that it was unique, it was delicious, and our customers loved it. So we kind of, like Carlene said, kind of instantly had a following, and that's how we got started.
So you started off cooking at home. I think you quickly realized that we can't get to the scale that we have too many customers to just cook at home. So you moved into a commercial kitchen setting. It's your own kitchen, right? The commercial kitchen.
Yes, we have our own kitchen. We're very lucky. We have our own kitchen. We're in a great location in Dallas, and started working immediately with some great people that we feel really privileged to have, as our friends and coworkers, and we're a team. We make decisions together, and it's got to be unanimous most of the time.
So the kitchen, is it just a factory somewhere? Where do customers get the cookies?
Right.
Well, it started off, we thought, oh, well, we'll just do, direct sales. It'll be real easy. I don't know why I thought that. It was not. Well, Dallas customers wanted to come and meet us and pick up the cookies and talk to us. And so we kept moving back the office space and, taking over more and more retail space until we had hardly any office space. And we took the conference room and made it a cookie room, and now we have enough retail space that we can sort of handle Christmas crowd, but it gets gnarly. It's crazy.
Gnarly's a good thing in terms of customer traffic, I think. You mentioned Christmas in there. I have to imagine this is a popular product at holiday time.
It's highly seasonal. It is.
So I'm with the Workforce Commission. I'm duty bound to ask you about workforce, because we have employee number one here.
Yes.
So we're definitely going to talk about workforce. Let's talk about the craziness of holiday and temporary hiring. But I think folks would probably be interested in knowing how you staff your operation, how people how you're able to get the right people in place to get this done. So let's talk a little bit about the craziness of the holidays and how you hire temporary staff. But then day to day, I mean, it's a year-round business, and clearly you're selling cookies here and there and all over the world, I think, at this point. How do you keep an operation like that staffed and running?
Well, we have our front office, and then we have our kitchen staff, then we have our warehouse. So we've been having the same amount of girls, the same girls almost every year. So we feel very appreciative that they come back, especially for the holidays. And, we just love that we're not workers, we're like family, so it's all word of mouth as well. So if so-and-so knows this person, then, we kind of like want them to also work with us, and we just want them to feel like family as well, so
we celebrate a lot of birthdays.
During the all year round, you were talking about, so we have a great team that we work with all year round, and then starting about now, we start having people come into the kitchen that have helped us over the years, and the learning curve is like non-existent because everybody's been there for a long time and they know immediately what we need. And so we're so lucky to have that because everyone just really leans in for the holidays. And then as far as the rest of the year, we're preparing and we're getting ready for the holidays. We are always, kind of making our orders and making sure that we're, not going to be short-sighted or, get caught in the supply chain, which of course with, everybody here I know knows that, supply chain issues. So we're not immune to it either, but we've been careful about our ordering and better at it.
And we do a lot of promoting with them. So people can start in the kitchen and then they come to the front or they go in the back and start picking and packing, and it's really everybody, anyone in our company can take an order, and it's very comfortable with customers and every area of the business.
Let's hit on something we've kind of skirted around it, but let's get this out in the open. So Maripaz, you started with the company. You were how old when you started with the company?
I was 17. Now I'm 28. So
You look like
I know. So it's been a long time, but it's like they're like my moms, So it's a good thing, It's a good feeling.
How many corporations can brag about that kind of employee retention? It's amazing, and I think you've created a culture. You've created a family atmosphere. I think people want to work there. You mentioned at the holidays, it's you got to get cookies and products and packages, and you got to have that available for the customers. It's a tiny little cookie that we're talking about, but the packaging is pretty creative. I mean, you can see some of it up here. We've got a snowman, we've got a candy cane. But you do other innovative things with packaging, something about dentists or doctors or something like that.
Right. Well, it's funny because over the years, we've really gotten to know our customers. And anyways, we didn't realize, but dentists really love, sweets. And so we have a couple of, dentists that give out cookies, during the holidays. And we're thinking, oh, wow, that's kind of an interesting, combination to give out cookies. But anyways.
So we have the medicine bottles that we fill, and we have pill organizers. I mean, they're so little. They're fun to package in all kinds of creative ways. And that's really what we're all about, is a unique, creative solution to gift giving. And gift giving is such a difficult thing, and you want it to be sincere and special and mean something. And so, we're thrilled that we could come up with a high quality product that answers that, gives you that solution to that problem.
So the microchip cookie is your own invention.
Mm-hmm.
It's something you came up with for a party where you were trying to make
Yeah.
everything miniature. About how many microchip cookies could a person eat at one time? Like, is there a record?
Well, they're roughly.
You're off.
Our cookies are about 3 calories each. And we haven't even talked about how many flavors we have. We have 17 flavors, and everyone is enjoying the original chocolate chip, which is over 50% of our sales. So it is our most popular cookie, but we have wonderful other cookies, and we have always loved. Oh yeah, so, yes. He likes the snickerdoodle, but anyways.
So the idea of getting these packaged up in fun ways and sort of, it seems to me like you know your customers really well, but you've got to be getting kind of new customers on the regular. Word of mouth, that's your advertising? How do people find out about the product?
Well, we decided to, okay, can you hear me? Okay. We really aren't big fans of buying advertising, and one, it's expensive, and two, I don't think people really care about us bragging about our product. I would rather someone else brag about our product. And we were real lucky because we're a very people-centric business, whether it's our customers or our employees. We are very people-oriented. And so we get to know our customers well, we're passionate about them, and then they're passionate about us, and then they spread the word. We did a little study, and we figured out one person gives a box of cookies, the next person buys 20 and passes them out. The next one buys 40, and that one person gave us $28,000. So, every little gift really does make a difference when it's spread by word of mouth. And we can see on the internet that, they receive it as a gift, they immediately give it as a gift, and then buy another one for themselves. So, we like that pattern, and we know we're doing the right thing.
So the customer base that comes into the Dallas location, they're at this point, I mean, they're friends at this point. They're
It's
buying.
Cheers.
Yeah.
It's like Cheers.
Everybody knows everybody. But I'm told, I think it's correct, you have an amazing West Coast
Right.
sort of presence as well. That's all word of mouth advertising?
You're right.
Carlene has a few kids that live out in California, and we're pretty convinced that they spread the word and started the whole California craze. But we do ship to all 50 states. We have shipped to Canada and even overseas. And so it's amazing how far-reaching we go with our microchip cookies. And we always said we would love for it to be a household name.
So if I'm going to go to Love Field
Yes.
I've got to catch a flight. I've got to go nearby your store, so I can just pop in. Am I going to smell cookies when I'm in the
You
store?
are.
Yeah.
Yes, you will. You will smell cookies cooking all the time.
So I think that might be a part of this
Yeah.
whole
Yeah,
customer
yeah.
experience
Yeah.
that we've got going on here. In terms of how you are able to ship things out, because obviously you're getting online orders from probably your website, maybe some other places as well. Who handles the logistics of getting all these cookies to the places they need to be?
Have lots of different options for shipping, but we primarily have used FedEx over the years. During the holidays, we'll have 3 FedEx trucks come to our business and pick up all day long for shipping our products. And anyways, we recently updated our website, which was one of the wonderful things we were able to do, because so many times people want to use different shipping opportunities, so you have choices now. So that's something that we've done over this past summer. We updated our website. We think it's a little more streamlined, a little easier to get to and make those choices yourself.
And we work a lot with event planners and wedding planners, and we do a lot of big corporate gifts. So we have a steady stream of large orders.
So if I were to kind of map this out and kind of try to understand how you got from, we're 2 friends, we have a shared love for cooking, we get together, we make these amazing products for the kids' teachers, kind of help the kids stay out of trouble at school. We are able to come together. Now our kids are going off and doing college and all their thing, and so we're going to take this thing mainstream to the people. That's the first step. Then you got into business. You kind of discovered the logistics. You kind of understood how you needed to serve your customers well, and you realized you needed to get out of your kitchen and into a commercial kitchen. And then you realized you needed solid people. And so we got a solid person. We brought her in, and we started running things the way they needed to be run. And now we've built up this customer base. Now that's basically the plan. That's kind of how we got to where we are now. But it's probably bigger than that. If you could go back and give yourselves advice, go back and give yourself, the person that started the business, advice based on what you know today, what advice would you give yourself that you might do differently, better, faster, whatever the advice is?
Well, personally, I think for all of us, we've always felt like our quality, just should never, veer from what it is. And if anything, we've really stayed true to that philosophy with our quality of ingredients. There's a lot of times vendors will come to us and they'll say, "Oh, try this butter," or this new kind of sugar. And we've never veered from our true core ingredients, and so we've felt like as long as our products stay true, we would stay true. And I think that that's probably our biggest kind of advantage, is that we if you know what you're doing is right and it feels right and it tastes right, or whatever aspect you can apply that to, stay that course, because you can be a lot of things to a lot of different people, but you've really got to, can't be it to everybody. So make those decisions kind of early on, what you can take on and what you can't. What did you say? What
Right.
else?
We never wanted to overpromise and underdeliver.
We ran out of jars in 2019, and it was right before the week before Christmas. And so, our jars are really an important part of our packaging, because we put them in these beautiful gift boxes. And our husbands were looking at us, and they were like, missed opportunity. They're just like, oh gosh, we can't let that ever happen again. So luckily, when it came to the early part of 2020, we put in a big order for our jars and for other things so that we wouldn't have that. And we were lucky because we didn't get caught in the supply chain that so many people early on with COVID got caught in, because we've started placing our orders earlier. I mean, we did along the way, with COVID, more with ingredients. It was really our problems. I
think something I learned in an earlier conversation is You do everything, and how you're talking about the jars. Like, how do the jars get filled? How do the cookies get in the jars? Everything happens in the same place?
Yeah, we put the labels on the jars. We fill them up. We do everything handmade. There's no machines, nothing. That's why we take pride of what we do. Because everything's handmade. So.
And we do a lot. We do a lot. This one seems to be on. We do a lot. We do a lot of custom labels and custom. We're all about high touch. A lot of custom labels. We have hundreds of ribbon colors and boxes and containers, and people come to us and they have a problem and they want it to be unique and special and the best ever, and we want it to be that way. And so we have so much fun being creative, and that I think is our big differentiator. Is that it's like you can give the same cookie, but it's going to be in a different container, in a different label, and it's going to be special for that person.
It is an incredible story. Making something fun into a business doesn't always result in a fun business. And I think whatever magic you guys found, I think you're bottling up more than just cookies here. I think you have found a way to take a fun idea that your friends loved, your family loved. You've turned it into a business. You have turned it into a successful business that you still have fun with. But I think the number one takeaway for me today is clearly the people you work with find it fun too. And I don't know what that magic formula is. If I did, I'd give it to everybody. But I think it's probably like your cookie recipe. I think that's private to you guys. And so we'll just leave it at that. We're kind of out of time, but if there's some last words or some parting comments, we'd sure love to hear from those today.
Well, thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
This has really just been a treat, and yeah, I think just stay true to who you are and love the people that you're working with and communicate. I mean, I think communication is the key to all businesses and a lot of relationships in every aspect of your life. And I think Carlene and I have been dear friends since a long time ago. We stopped giving the number because then people could kind of figure out how long we've known each other. Stop telling. But anyways, enough for my hair to go gray. But anyways, but we're so honored to work with great people, and I think as long as you love what you do every morning, and and
happy.
Yes, a little happy. So.
Well, thanks for sharing your happiness with us today. We really appreciate you taking time to come down. Wonderful product, obviously wonderful folks. And that's what makes programs like this work so well. How about a nice round of applause for our panel today?